What's up, everyone? It's that Math Magician, and on this video, we're taking a look at linear equations, and we want to see, can we graph them? So we have a coordinate grid here, and I got two equations here, one in blue and one in red, and I want to see, can we graph these equations? And guess what? We can, because we have this great equation right here, y equals mx plus b. Mx plus b is the standard form equation that we have for a linear equation. And with the pieces of m and b, it's going to help us graph these equations. Now, the m term, the number that's attached to the x, we sometimes call it the coefficient, that represents our slope. And the slope is always going to be represented as a fraction for us. And I know sometimes you might hear rise over run, but I like to think of it as the change in y over the change in x, okay? How am I changing in the y direction? And then how am I changing in the x direction? So that's gonna help us determine our growth rate. And then the last piece of mx plus b is b. And b, even though it's at the end of the equation, it's actually our starting point. Sometimes we also refer to it as our y-intercept. So if I know where I'm starting and how I'm growing, then I can graph these two equations very simply. Let's start with the blue equation. We have y equals 3/4 x minus 7. Again, looking at the standard equation we have, mx plus b. My b term is the number by itself, the constant. In this case, my b term is -7. So I'm going to look up and down the y-axis, right? Y is the vertical axis, and I know my y-intercept will be all the way down here at -7, because that's what the equation tells me. Perfect. All right. Our slope is 3/4, 3/4. That means the change in y from my starting point, right? The starting point over there at -7. The change in y is +3. So I'm going to be going up 3, and then the 4 on the bottom is my change in the x direction. For x, we always go to the right. Okay, we're not going to the left. The x, the delta x, is always to the right. Delta y, it's either going up or it's going down, depending on if it's positive or if it's negative. But delta x, always to the right. So the 3 means I go up 3 notches, and then the 4 means sliding to the right 4. Let's do it. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4, put a point. Let's do it one more time. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot. Once you have at least 2, I usually do 3 because I mess up when I use rulers. You're going to break out your straight edge, and we're going to line up those points, and we're going to graph our line that is going through all 3 points. Once it's graphed, we want to go the whole distance, right? The whole distance of that paper. At the very end, we put arrows because lines go on for infinity. Perfect, y'all. That is so good. That is how we graph our equation. Starting point, and then the slope tells us our direction. All right, I think it's time for us to do the second equation. We have y equals -3/2 x plus 6. The plus 6 is my b term, so that's where my y-intercept is for the red one. So let's do it. Starting at 0, it's +6. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, placing my y-intercept. Now notice, this slope is negative. It is -3/2 x, -3/2. The negative means instead of going up 3, I'm actually going to be going down 3. Negative and positive determines your up or down direction. Positive goes up, negative goes under. So the -3 means I'm going down 3, but the +2 doesn't mean I go to the left. I still go to the right. Remember, the bottom number, the delta x, you're always going in the right direction. So down 3, over 2. Let's do it. Down 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. Put a point. Let's do it again. Down 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2. Put a point. Again, after I usually wait till I have about 3 points. We break out our straight edge, line up those points so they are nice and lined up. There we go. Whoops, that always happens when I use my tablet. Alrighty, so once I got that, then you can connect those points, graph that line, and again, don't forget to put some arrows there. Alrighty, y'all. This is how you graph a line. It's not that scary, I promise you. You just need two pieces. You need the starting point and you need your slope. If you have those two pieces, your M and your B, you're good to go. We can graph any linear equation. Alrighty, y'all. It's that Math Magician, and I'll see you on the next video.